2018. Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk.
Here.
Trustee Valdez. Here. Trustee Wallace.
Here.
Trustee Butler.
Here.
Trustee Nichols.
Here.
Trustee Cleveland. Here. Mayor Hill.
Here. Let the record show a quorum is present. Would you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wallace,
Second.
second by trustee Cleveland. We have a motion to second. Any questions, clarifications on the agenda? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved as written. We have our July 23rd, 2018 council meeting minutes up for approval. Any corrections or clarifications there? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Butler, second by trustee Husk. We have a motion to second. Once again, any corrections, clarifications to the minutes? Again, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Those minutes are approved. Okay, we have the approval of expenditures. We have $706,075.39 for the expenditures this month. Some of the larger items are our CLC Joint Water Action Agency for our Fresh Lake Michigan water. We had $140,000. And we did some work over on the Wood Street Water Main Project, about $143,000. There's various other charges throughout the month that the village staff have reviewed. The trustees have all reviewed them. Any of the trustees have any questions on any of the bills? If not, is there a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Nichols.
Second.
Second by trustee Butler. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Butler.
Aye.
Trustee Nichols.
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland.
Aye.
Trustee Husk.
Aye.
Trustee Valdez.
Aye.
Trustee Wallace.
Aye.
That's approved. We have no ratifications tonight, so we'll move on to our standing committee reports. Any of the trustees have reports tonight?
I do
Trustee
have my
Wallace?
SWALCO report, Mayor. I just want to remind everybody that our village is starting with waste management on a cart tagging program for recycling. They're starting on the east side of town and working to the west side. And I was just advised, that originally they had said they were just going to tag the carts if there was something, your recycling cart, if there was something in it that didn't apply. But apparently they are putting stickers on the top of the box, on the top of your cart, to help people know what should and shouldn't be in the recycling. If you put something in the recycling that shouldn't be there, then they are still tagging apparently, and they'll tell you what wasn't supposed to be in there the next time. Actually, I think it's 3 strikes now, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, okay. The third time, if you still do it, then they won't they won't empty your recycling. They'll just tell you what you weren't supposed to have in there. So it's a big project. A lot of people have a lot of questions about it. On that same note, people can go to swalco.org and get put on the newsletter list. You just go there and just go to the SWALCO website, put in your email address, and you'll all of a sudden be on the mailing list for all the stuff that SWALCO puts out, all the public information that they put out. They come out with a lot of good information, so it's always a good thing to do. We got to try and do our part. So, and everybody remember, recycle first, trash last.
And just to piggyback on that a little bit, we can all recycle all we want, but if we're throwing waste into the recycle bin, we're just contaminating everything we threw in there that they can recycle. So it's a good process. It'll help us actually recycle more good product and less in the landfills in the long run. It's an education process, just like anything else in our lives. We learn to get better at it. So hopefully the residents will do the same.
Mayor, may I make a comment since we have such a big group here? I'd just like to see, so you go to Walmart, you use their regular little plastic bag to put your groceries in. How many of you, if I could just have a raise of hands, are aware that every time we crunch them up, throw them in our garbage can, when they hit that recycler belt, it stops the whole entire system? How many of you in this room are actually aware of that? Okay, thank you. So we're trying to spread the word. So if you can just let everybody know, do not put those little plastic shopping bags individually in your garbage can. We need, trustee,
Recycling can.
recycling can. What we need to do is put a whole group of them together in so that they can flag them and not have this happen to the
Well,
system.
they're saying that they would prefer not to have the plastic
At
bags
all.
at all, any
At all.
plastic bags. What a lot of people do too, because, I mean, everybody knows, you've got your recycling bin or your recycling can in the house, everybody puts a garbage bag in there because you get the pop and stuff like that. They're asking that you rinse it because they're looking at contamination. So, but what people do is they put it in the plastic bag, then grab the plastic bag and throw it in the recycling. So they're asking for no plastic bags, nothing that can get caught up in those wheels. So that's one of the things they're looking for. So just take your plastic bags, put them, collect them into one of the bags, tie it up and throw it in your garbage itself. They'd rather have them in the landfill where they can be compacted than they can going into the recycling and costing them money of having it gum up the work, so to speak.
Thank you.
Any other trustee announcements tonight?
Yes, Mayor, just comment, we had a great midweek break on the lake on Wednesday, August 8th, but please put on your calendar for the last one for this year, September 12th. Midweek break on the lake is at the community center in the park area along the water. Music, comedians, food and drinks. It's fun for the family, so please come out and enjoy. It's all free.
Yeah, it's definitely been building the last couple of years, and several nice bands out there, some high schoolers that really play pretty good jazz and so forth. They're good kids. They also have a comedian indoors now, something new that they added this year, so come on out. Like Trustee Nichols said, it's free, so don't get any better than that. Anyone else?
Just so that the public is aware that Amazon is still hiring. They have many, many positions available in the Waukegan area. You can apply online or go directly to the Lake County Job Center in Waukegan, Illinois. So if you have anyone that is interested, they have many positions open at both locations, Waukegan and, of course, the newer plant in Wisconsin.
Thank you. Okay, move on to the mayor's report. Couple exciting items here tonight. We have first a swearing in of a new commander. It's always great to see someone move up through our ranks and make it up to the level of commander, and I'll let the chief handle it from here.
Thank you, Mayor and Board. Before we get started, I want to point out also that we have a nice surprise here. We have Kathy Foley, who retired a few years ago in the audience here, and our new recently retired Rich Chiarello is sitting way in the background as well. So I'm glad to see that they came out here as well. Let's give them a round of applause. Congratulations. If I can have Paul and Amber please come up here. Today, Paul is accompanied by his wife Amber, son James, his daughter Laura, and his mom Marilyn. Also, his in-laws are here, Ray and Debbie. Paul started with this department in 2000. Since then, he has served in many roles. He was a school resource officer. He was a DARE officer. He was a GAP officer, which is Gang Awareness Program officer. He also started the Villages Crime-Free Multi-Housing Program. In 2001, he received the Alliance Against Intoxicated Motorists DUI Award for having over 100 DUI arrests. That was in 1 year. That was quite an accomplishment. In 2008, he received the department's Crime Prevention Award. In 2009, under his direction, he had the Community Action Team submitted and received the Governor's Hometown Award for that organization as well. In 2015, he was Officer of the Year. The past 8 years, he's been an officer in charge. He also served 5 years in the Detective Bureau, which included being a team supervisor for the Lake County Major Crime Task Force. So Paul Grace is definitely well qualified and well deserving of this appointment. So if I can have Amber pin his badge on. And if you can step up.
Raise your right hand. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of Commander
the duties of the office of Commander
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Chief. Paul, I'm sure you'll serve our village well as you have for so many years already in a new capacity. Thanks for stepping up and being a commander. We also have our mayor's report, the National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month proclamation. We all know when someone has been impacted by the ravages of depression, someone going on to take their own lives. It's a tragedy whenever it happens. We all need to probably do more than we do to help step up, and especially those that are young, to help teach them and show them there's a way out of this. There's ways to cope with it and overcome depression. So this is just a proclamation about that. If we could have our deputy clerk please read that.
September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Whereas September is known around the United States as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month and is intended to help promote awareness surrounding each of the suicide prevention resources available to us and our community. The simple goal is to learn how to help those around us and how to talk about suicide without increasing the risk of harm. And whereas suicidal thoughts can affect anyone regardless of age, gender, race, orientation, income level, religion, or background, and whereas according to the CDC, each year more than 41,000 people die by suicide, and whereas suicide is the 10th leading cause of death among adults in the U.S., and the second leading cause of death among people aged 10 to 24. Whereas Round Lake Beach, Illinois is no different than any other community in the country, but chooses to publicly state and place our full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, PAC leaders, police officers, and parents as partners in supporting our community and simply being available to one another. And whereas local organizations like Suicide Prevention Services and national organizations like the National Alliance on Mental Illness are on the front lines of a battle that many still refuse to discuss in public, as suicide and mental illness remain too taboo a topic to speak on. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we all are silently fighting our own battles. And whereas I encourage all residents to take the time to inquire as to the well-being of their family, friends, and neighbors over the next few days, and to generally convey their appreciation for their existence by any gesture they deem appropriate. A simple phone call, message, handshake, or hug can go a long way towards helping someone realize that suicide is not the answer. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Richard H. Hill, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2018 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in the village of Round Lake Beach.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Wallace and Trustee Valdez, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's approved. Thank you. You all welcome to stay for our business meeting. Not required. I know you all have busy lives.
On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Oh, but doesn't Anne Marie have to stay, Mayor? Bye.
Bye. She's a cutie.
Is there a clerk's report tonight?
No report, thank you.
Okay. Move on to our items of business then. We have item A, is a resolution approving the appropriation of funds for the purchase of a combination sewer vac truck from AJ Equipment in an amount not to exceed $362,085. Our sewer vac's about 20 years old now and needs replacing. We use it quite often in town here to clean the grease from the sewers, clear obstructed culverts, even doing water excavation, where you want to use an actual excavator out there with the metal teeth. The water can clear things away without having to worry about this destroying something or breaking in power lines or other things like that. Again, we use it probably 10 to 15 days per month, so the majority of the month out of 20 working days, we are using it. So it's something we definitely need, and it can save a lot of extra work and also much safer working conditions for our staff. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Motion by trustee Cleveland, second by trustee Husk. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Nichols?
Aye.
Cleveland?
Aye.
That's approved. Item B is a resolution approving an equipment lease agreement with U.S. Bancorp Government Lease and Financing. This is actually the financing package to buy the sewer vac, so we're not paying for it all at one time, we're paying it over a number of years. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
Moved.
Motion by trustee
Second.
Wallace, second by trustee Butler. We have a motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Wallace?
Aye.
Butler?
Aye.
Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
That's also approved. Item C is an ordinance approving a third amendment to development agreement with Grand Commercial LLC Round Lake Beach Series. Grand Appliance does plan to still build in Round Lake Beach. They came across a couple different opportunities that are ahead of this project, and they're taking a little longer than what they expected, so they had to postpone this for one more time. Hopefully next year they will get this project into ground and all be done. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee
Second.
Nichols.
Second.
Second by trustee Cleveland. A motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Trustee Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
That's also approved. And item D is a resolution declaring certain vehicles and equipment as surplus equipment. From time to time, we do upgrade old equipment and vehicles, and we need to declare the old equipment and vehicle surplus. This time, I think we had 2 vehicles and quite a bit of old computer equipment to declare surplus and either be disposed of or hopefully sold at auction, whatever is still salvageable. Any questions by the board? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wallace.
Second.
Second by trustee Husk. We have motion and a second. Any questions by the board? Please call the roll.
Trustee Butler?
Aye.
Trustee Nichols?
Aye.
Cleveland?
Aye.
Trustee Husk?
Aye.
Trustee Valdez?
Aye.
Trustee Wallace?
Aye.
That's also approved. That was our last item of business. At this time, it's open to public participation. Anyone has a question or comment for the board, please come to the microphone. State your name and address for the record, and either state your comment or ask your question. Well, thank you all for being here tonight. We appreciate it. We don't have any executive session tonight, so we have no action on those items. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Butler,
Second.
second by trustee Cleveland. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.